Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have just seen the 2016 horror film, The Boy. And it was long. It was really long. And when you're more than halfway through the movie and there's still things from the trailer that haven't happened, long. What is it with you, Hollywood? Why must you make these long, boring movies? Cut to the action already. We all know there's something going on with the What's-It-Wigger. We don't care. Your What's-It-Wiggers are boring. Oh, look, everything's creepy and we've got built. No, the tension isn't building. Nobody cares. We all know what's going to happen. You told us in the trailer. Oh, I am going to admit that there was a twist, because there has to be, and there always is. And I will also say I think that if they had cut the last 30 seconds or maybe last 15 seconds of the film off, it probably would have been a lot better, because there was a part in there that was absolutely the silliest dang thing you've ever seen in your entire life. But that's just the common horror movie cliche of, oh, that thing at the end. If you watch a lot of horror movies, you know what I'm talking about. But now I will admit that the main character, I don't recall that actress's name. I know I looked it up. I think she's a fine actress. I think she did her job pretty well. But I mean, there is one part where it's kind of a bad writing, where it's like there's just this click in her character. Everything changes, and you go, okay, what's going on here? Beyond that, I mean, I think she did that well. I think it's a writing issue, not a her issue. It's how characters change that way. Beyond that point, The Boy, it's not that it's a bad movie, it's just that it's a long, boring first half of the movie, and you're going, will you get on with it already? That's my thing. I mean, I think if they had cut that first half down to maybe 15 minutes, and this would have wound up being a television episode rather than a film, maybe this would have been better, but that's kind of the problem. It's possible if they had maybe had a parallel story of the actual child and his childhood friend or whatever have you, heard about that in the trailer, then maybe this would have been better. But it's just the story as it is. It's the same problem that The Forest had. It's just too long, too boring, and not enough get to it already. I mean, I'm going to grant you a really great horror movie would be Alien, and there was a lot of kind of slow boring in there, but I mean, it was slow boring in there with a parasite growing in somebody, and we all loved that, and even that movie would be slow by modern standards. So yeah, horror movies, give them a little more oomph, get to them a little better. The Boy, not recommending it. Oh yes, and there is absolutely nothing in this movie that needs to be seen on the big screen. They're in a beautiful house, I will say that much. But you don't need to see it on the big screen. I don't think they have any 3D versions of it, so that's good. But I mean, again, it's just another forgettable horror movie. If I had to give it a grade, I would give it a C. It is, last I checked, running a 7.1 on IMDb, I think, which, no, 7.6 on IMDb. Jaws rates an 8.1, my bad. So it's like 5 points ahead of Jaws, or 6 points ahead of Jaws, or 5 points behind Jaws, my bad. So yeah, I mean, as horror movies go, this is better than a lot of other horror movies you're going to see in theaters this year. It's just, there aren't going to be a lot of good horror movies in theaters this year. Hollywood is not good at horror movies. Anyway, I'm Richard. That's my opinion. Peace.